I suppose it did sound funny. I used to lie out on the beach, close my eyes, may there be a pretty girl lying on the
Single black female addicted to retail.
Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I got into my dream college, which is the Fashion Institute of Technology. Super exciting. And yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Now, I've been waiting to make this video for a long time because I wanted to get in so bad, and I did. So I want to talk about it. But before I get into this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and follow all of my social media in the description box down below. Bye! Okay. Freshman year, I knew, yes, like, I want to go to New York. Like, I don't know how. I just want to go back. Like, that's, you know, I have family there. So I was just like, yeah, like, there's no other place that I would rather be. You know what I mean? I really wanted to get out of my hometown. So I just kind of decided, like, yes, like, FIT is what I wanted to do. But I honestly didn't really take the whole FIT dream too seriously because for multiple reasons. Like, I wanted to run track at one point in college. For whatever, like, even though fashion was, like, the underlying theme to my entire life, I never really took it seriously as a career type of thing. Like, I was very serious about it. Like, I started, you know, small businesses here and there growing up when I was a little kid and would do kind of certain things, but it really took, like, my parents kind of, like, helping me figure out, like, fashion's what I wanted to do, and fashion was really just how I, like, operated my entire life. So it wasn't until the summer before my senior year that I finally was like, yes, FIT is the school for me. I took pre-college classes my sophomore year, which we'll talk about later. And it was just, I don't know, like, I knew after I had left my sophomore year, left FIT, left pre-college my sophomore year, like, I was like, oh my goodness, like, I miss this so much. Like, no, I took the class The Life of a Merchant, and it was really fun. And it was basically for people that were interested in fashion merchandising, and my professor was really great. It was just a great time. I was able to go on field trips. I went to Dover Street Market for the first time. I met some really cool people. It just felt very at home, very natural. Like, I love it there. Like, I felt home. It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small. Like, it just made so much sense. But for whatever reason, my junior year, I had a lot going on. So I never really kind of, like, thought, like, it was kind of on the back burner because I had so much. If you would like to hear about my high school experience, like this video, because she's a very colorful experience. So the summer before my senior year, I visited FIT for a forum, and I realized this is where I needed to go. They gave us a tour of the campus in, like, one of the dorms, and I was just like, yeah, okay, like, okay. At this forum, they gave us everything that we needed to know for, like, the application, applying for honors, what to include. They did say the essay was a heavy chunk of the application, which was one of the main things, like, I focused on that we'll talk about later in this video. It was really cool, and it kind of gave a full scope of what FIT was like compared to pre-college. The focus was more on the class. Pre-college probably, I mean, I haven't gone to college officially yet. Pre-college probably was the more realistic version of college. Going to the forum, it really just kind of flushed, like, which degree I wanted to study. It just kind of made things clearer, and it really solidified, like, how I thought about the school. I was deciding between FBM and AMC, and I chose FBM because I really, like, all 4 years of my high school career, I really wanted to study something that married business and fashion together. And looking at the curriculum and looking at the classes that I would be taking, I had decided, like, FBM was the major I wanted to take. which was actually like, alright. I was like, okay, like I hope I will like my major. Like AMC, there's less of a fashion concentration, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for me, like I know I still want fashion, and for that degree it's very flexible in how you use it. With both AMC and FBM, it's very flexible in how you use it, but the careers that come after studying at FIT for fashion business management include styling, being a buyer, a creative director, that's a popular one, an entrepreneur. Like it just seemed those careers seemed much more up my alley, which is why I chose FBM. For the application, you first have to apply using the SUNY application. FIT is not available through Common App. And the SUNY application is really easy. They just ask you basic questions. They're not going to deny you a SUNY application. I submitted my SUNY application like late September. Now, the tea is, with the bigger majors, the earlier you apply, the better. Just because, like, say after the deadline is over and you applied, like, chances are you're not going to get into, like, FBM, AMC, even fashion design, just because those programs are so large. However, one of my friends, she applied through communication design, which is sort of like graphic design. She would have to explain it to you, but she applied close to the deadline and got in no problem. I recommend shooting to apply to FIT before December. Their application really isn't that difficult. It's more of you just really have to think about what you want and the angle that you're taking and the hill you're dying on to really like sell yourself in terms of, you need me at this school, I need this school. So after you apply through using the SUNY application, they're gonna get back to you. FIT is gonna get back to you. Your essay link to submit your essay, and you've officially applied after you submit it. It's really easy. This year it was a Google form, but stats, like this is the big, the elephant in the room. This is what everybody wants to know. Stats are very important at FIT. FIT is a rigorous college. He really wants to see if you're involved or not. I was heavily involved in high school, and what helped me was all of the high school activities that I did, with the exception of track, were somewhat fashion related. Now that's what works for me. I'm not saying you shouldn't go on the swimming and dive team. I'm not saying you shouldn't play basketball. I'm not saying you can't be an activist. I'm not saying any of that. However, a lot of the activities I did were fashion related. So for example, I was the president of a fashion club. Fashion club presidents are very popular at FIT. Don't get it twisted. You're not special, sweetie. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm fashion club president. Like 10 other people were like, yeah, girl, me too. Like, period. But anyway, I was a fashion club president at my school. I also had a project, this charity project where I designed apparel. Let me check the list because I'd be forgetting. Also was the vice president of marketing at my Untitled Chapter. I started my own fashion business, Metro's Rose. I also had a depop. I work as a buyer at a thrift store. I also was in the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society. And my grades, I graduated like top 30%, top 20%, like somewhere between those top 20 and top 30%. Out of my class of 500, probably more than that by the time I graduated. But so I was out here working hard. I'm not gonna say, the SAT doesn't matter. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you your GPA doesn't matter, because it do. But also they take into account like how many activities you've been in. And don't be discouraged. Like, don't feel like, wow, like I haven't done as much as other videos because other people have these long rap sheets. Like, don't feel discouraged about that. Really what you need to do is you need to pick an angle on your essay and really just like expound upon that, which is what I did. But having extracurricular activities, taking classes that will challenge you. So for example, I took AP classes, will show that you really are passionate about learning, even if it's completely unrelated to fashion, period. Like, you just need to really think, like, what have I done my high school career that really would make me stand out? And honestly, I believe in you. If I got in, you definitely can get in. My SAT scores are really not worth mentioning. However, it does play a role in if you're applying to the honors program or your placement in classes. Luckily, my placement is fine. It wasn't anything like crazy. But these things do matter, and I think there's this common misconception that, oh, like, my academics don't matter. They do. Like, it's not just, you know, you get to get into FIT, like, because there are a lot of people that I came across that, you know, just like to shop and like the idea of going to fashion school, like the idea of going to New York, but it really takes grit and hard work in high school to really feel prepared for it. And technically, I'm speaking from this from like an assumption, but after my first semester at FIT, I'll be able to speak more on it. But the truth is work hard in high school. Even if it's your senior year, work hard. Pick classes you know will challenge you. I know when I was a junior, I was watching a whole bunch of FIT videos around this time, trying to figure out what to do. But you got this. The fact that you're here and you're researching shows that you care and that you are passionate about FIT. You're gonna be where I am right now, like, period. I feel like that. Like, I'm sorry. So, unweighted GPAs do matter. Their average GPA is like a 3.6. I started off high school with like a 3.8 and I came down to a 3.5. Don't drag me. Did a little nosedive. It wasn't crazy. But A's and B's you should really... But I mean, there are other people that I talked to like that had C's on their report card. Like, it's all just about how hard you're willing to work and how hard they think you've worked in high school, because you can have C's and be in like, you know, not so great classes but have a brilliant mind. Like, they're gonna kind of look at you holistically. I know I keep saying this, but I can't stress it enough. Like, it is a selective college, but don't think like you can't get in, because there's people on a wide spectrum of academia that got in. There's people that had a perfect SAT, perfect AP scores that got in, and then there's also creative people like me that, you know, might have struggled in some areas. Despite my GPA, I still struggled with certain classes and it showed up on my transcript, but they still admitted me.
Right over my head, literally.
So now I'm gonna read you guys my essay. I'm gonna read an excerpt. I'm gonna give the girls a little something. It's kind of long. It's 750 words and I don't want to be here forever. So the question is, your essay should answer the following questions. What makes you a perfect candidate for FIT? Why are you interested in the major you are applying for? The essay is also your chance to tell us more about your experiences, activities, and accomplishments. No more than 750 words, please. I believe I'm the perfect candidate for the Fashion Institute of Technology because of the experiences throughout my life that have nurtured my creativity and accomplishments I have made that are related to the industry. When I was just 4 years old, my first drawing and art class was of a clothing store, my clothing store with my designs. Little did I know that the drawing was a precursor for my lifelong love affair with fashion. So that's just a blurb out of my introduction. I'll read a blurb out of my body paragraph. Around the same time, I registered for the fashion merchandising pre-college class they, FIT, were offering in the fall. The class was taught by Professor Elida Bihar, and through this class I gained a greater understanding of the future of fashion. One project included working with a group and studying the European retail store Bershka and whether or not the retailer would infiltrate the American market. Being surrounded by other creative-minded students at FIT was electrifying and awakened my desire to style others. Now, keynote, with this essay, you also want to talk about what you've done, if you've done certain things that are really outstanding. So I talked about my high school career, just everything that I did in high school, and why this connects to fashion. The same year, I joined the internationally renowned marketing and business student organization known as the Distributive Education Clubs of America, DECA. DECA is taught in conjunction with marketing classes offered at my school. The objective was to write a business plan to be entered in a state competition that could advance students to the international competition. My partner and I chose to write a business plan for the fashion merchandising category based on an international franchise. Out of 10 teams, my partner and I won 3rd place in the state competition. From there, we advanced to the international competition. Also, during my sophomore year, I started the first ever fashion club offered at my school. My mission for the club was to create an environment for all students who love the art of fashion. During its year, we provided donated prom dresses, hosted prom consultations, sold handmade scrunchies, and facilitated a school-wide best dress competition, all of which were major successes. So I end my essay. That wasn't my full essay, girl. Relax. Lower your tone. So then I ended up finishing my essay, saying, based on these experiences and the desire I have to see people feel and look great in their clothing, I'm confident that I'm the perfect candidate for FIT in the fashion business management degree. I'm eager to learn and seek knowledge from industry leaders to prepare for a future in fashion. So those were just some excerpts from my essay. Nothing major, but it also pumps you up. It just does a little shimmy. It does a little, just a little something. Okay, let me stop. It just shimmy. You just sprinkle it around like parsley. You know what I mean? Like a Ty Dolla $ign ad lib. It just adds seasoning. You just have to add seasoning to your essay. You really have to really talk about who you are, why your high school career really prepared you for FIT. So how I found out was so ghetto. Now, first of all, Corona. But I was talking to these girls, and we were in a group chat, and we're gonna find out our decision this week, bro. Like this week, we're gonna find out. And I was just like, yeah, okay. Like it was around the time that they were kind of hinting that they were releasing their decisions because they had updated their admitted students day. Like they were just doing the full 9 yards. So I'm just like, okay. Like the girls I was talking to was like, she would check her portal every day. Like every day she checked it, and I don't blame her. But knowing me and me being anxious, like I literally like blocked that part of my life out. But occasionally she would ask me to check. So one day she checked, and she saw that her portal had updated to financial aid, something under review, or financial aid package needs to be sent. So everyone, like people were literally freaking out because their portals were or weren't updating, which I feel bad about the people that like didn't get in. Like that's kind of awkward. Like it is awkward. Like it really was kind of a painful first few days of the week because there were people that I knew that weren't getting in or didn't get their notification yet, and it was just a mess. Like it was just a mess. So she's like, oh, check your portal, and I'm out of the house with my mother. Like we just got done grocery shopping, and I see that my portal updated. So I'm like, okay, so this probably means like I got in. Like this is what that means. Like the fact that my financial aid package needs to be sent, and that's what it was saying. Like that's a telltale sign like that you got in. And I checked with one of my FIT biddies that already went to the school, and she was like, yeah, I got that too, girl. Like it's looking good for you. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm sorry guys, I'm a clown, I'm a bird. But anyways, so I'm like going about my day, anxious, but I'm going about my day. And all of a sudden, all these honors kids, all these presidential scholars kids start getting their notifications. So of course, I'm like, of course they would be first, like of course. You know, me and my friends are just waiting around like, what's tea? Like, where are our notifications? And I'm just sad because I'm just waiting for that email that FIT, sends out that you got in. Like I'm literally waiting. Like I kept not checking my phone, like because they kind of were, I don't really know how they're announcing it. I was kind of looking forward to getting the anticipated booklet that people previous years get, but because of Corona, like it was sent in an email. But I was like not checking my phone. Like I was just trying to like wait to see. And I go to bed that night mad because I got no notification. I went to bed mad. And they were kind of announcing things weird. Like it was kind of alphabetical, like for certain degrees. It was just, there's just a lot. Like no one really knows how they officially announced it. all we know is that they probably announced it by the biggest degree to the smallest degree. So I'm like going to bed angry, and I like go on Finsta, and there's this boy 2 towns over that got in, but his last name began with an A, and his degree or his major is AMC or whatever. So I was kind of tight because I was like, wow, like where's my this was either really late at night or really early in the morning. And then I go back to bed because I'm mad, because I'm like, dang, like he got his notification, I didn't, bro. Like now I have to go back to bed. Like now I'm mad. And I wake up, I go about, you know, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm up early because I'm triggered. Like I was mad. Like I was just like, I know I got in, or I was assuming that I got in. Like where's my notification? Like I just want you to put a ring on it. Like I just want you to make it official. Like come on, hurry up. And this other girl that got into AMC, I know, not even my major, her last name came after me, but I'm hearing like other FBM people got in. So I'm like, okay, let's connect the dots. Let's connect the dots. Let's connect the dots. So then I log on to, I didn't get, hey, I know I look busted, but I don't know, my clip cut off, like I don't know what it's doing. But yeah, so basically I go and check my email, and literally I see from FIT admissions, congratulations. I didn't even have to open up the email. I already knew what the deal was. I was like, yes, I got in. I could woosah now. Like, like it was so relaxing and calming that I got in, and like my friends were so excited for me, and everyone was congratulating me. Like you would have thought I was at the Met Gala, which catch me in 10 years. I literally committed that day, which is so embarrassing. Like I should not have rushed my parents like to commit that day, but they already knew how much money, like, and the deposit wasn't even that much, but they already knew how much. But I literally feel bad for like rushing them, because I'm thinking like, oh, this has something to do with housing, and it didn't. It had no like relation to housing, because people were just submitting their tuition deposits like a few days before housing apps opened up. So I don't even know why I was tripping over that. But yes, I have roommates. They're all super sweet, super nice. We're trying to hear back on whether or not FIT is opening up. But it looks like we are, because we got an email today saying we need to submit our photo ID. LOL, FIT just suspended housing selection. So I'm really excited. Like I hope this wasn't too ratchet for you guys, like, but this is who I am. And you know, it's really exciting. I'm really excited to say that I got into FIT. And I'm really, you know, it means a lot, I feel like, to myself, because I really stayed true to what my dream was. There's no other city I would ever really live in. And you know, thanks to my family, they exposed me to a side of the world that I never would have seen if I didn't have family in New York. So yeah, that's basically my experience on how I got into FIT. Like I hope it wasn't too like hood for y'all. Like I hope I answered all of your questions, but if you have any other questions, you can just leave them in the description box down below. And also, if you haven't checked out my other video on having the summer on lock with these certain trends, I suggest you go check it out. It's not too long, not too short. And yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye.